Seth Godin, what did you ship in 2010?
2010 was a pretty good year for shipping. I use the term shipping to describe getting something out the door that intersects with the market, that wasn't easy for you, that either frightened you or that involved overcoming some hurdles. And so my book Linchpin came out in January. The Ship It Journal, all about a workbook about shipping, came out in September. A booklet I did called Graceful came out, and which I did for a speech I gave for 13,000 people, which was pretty scary because you can't even see the back row when you do.
Where was that?
At a convention in Georgia. And that was a really fascinating thing. I've done it twice. And you think really hard about those because it's not like giving a speech to 50 or 100 people where you can engage with people. You're sort of speaking out into the world and you're hoping that something will come back in the end. We launched a whole new overlay to the Squidoo site that we run that took about 6 months of concentrated effort by the team. So there were a bunch of projects in the works, and then right at the end of the year, after 15 years of talking with them, Amazon and I announced that I'm starting a publishing company called the Domino Project that's going to be powered by Amazon. That's sort of going to change what I do all day, and I hope will change how people interact with books and create them and read them.
Linchpin is about the future of work, is that right?
It's about the current state of work and then where it goes. I think that what happened while we weren't paying attention is the industrial age ended. The industrial age, 100 years of rising productivity that was based around bosses who owned factories telling employees to act like human cogs in the system to make the system work better. And that system made us all rich. I mean, everyone on the planet is richer because the Industrial Revolution happened. And so we built schools to support that, and we built markets to support it, and we built advertising to support it. All were built around average stuff for average people, made in quantity, sold cheap. And what happened just in the last few years, for a whole bunch of reasons, is that starting to fall apart, and there's a new revolution here. And Clay Shirky has said that every revolution destroys the old before it brings the benefits of the new. And so when we look at everything from travel sites that get you the lowest price to Groupon that cuts the price of what you're buying when you're a new customer, to the decline of advertising, to the demand for workers who don't just do what they're told, all these things happening at the same time mean that if what you want to do for a living is do what you're told, you must understand that the boss can find someone cheaper than you. And so now there's a race to the bottom. And the race to the bottom is compliant folks are going to get hurt because I can always find someone cheaper. And then there's a race to the top. And the race to the top are people who know where to go next, people who can do work without being told to do it, people who can create art, interactions that mean something. Those people are irreplaceable. Those people get paid more and more and more. So that's where we're seeing this new dichotomy, where the rich keep getting richer, some of them because they're not playing fairly, but many of them because they're figuring out what to do next. And the struggling middle class is in ever more trouble because we don't have an assembly line in Detroit for them to work on anymore. So what my book is doing, and it's from a book point of view, it's my life's work. I don't think I'll ever be able to write a book that has that breadth and impact, is I'm saying, let's take a second and think about which path you want to be on. And if you've brainwashed yourself into thinking that all you can do is follow instructions, then you better be prepared to be treated poorly. And that the future is going to belong to a different class of people who have decided by themselves that they're going to do a different kind of work in a different kind of way. Those people, the linchpins, there's going to be a line out the door to hire them or work with them or work for them.
What's been the response to the book?
Well, I was basically scared to death when I published it because it was a leap from the books I'd written before. It was for a bigger audience and it asked for a bigger shift. And I was pretty blown away. The response still is coming in every day about people who have shifted their life because of what they got out of what I was writing. I think that it applies in areas I never even considered. I see it working in the way people are raising their kids or the way teachers are teaching at school, but it's also having this big shift in small and medium-sized companies where the boss is going into the people in the company and saying, I don't want you to work here anymore if all you're going to do is wait for me to tell you what to do tomorrow, because our competition will beat us if you do that, because our competition has people working in China or wherever who are cheaper than you who are doing what the boss says. So if I'm going to pay you to be here, I need you to change the rules of this game, both in the office and in the marketplace. And when an organization starts to do that, we see real transformation occur in how fast it can grow and how nimble it can be in the marketplace.